Oh my god, okay. I feel like it's been ages since I made a YouTube video last. And the reason why is because the entire month of February, I actually took a little break from social media. So I'm gonna share with you how I transformed because so much has changed for me, I would say for the better. I'm gonna share with you what I cut out and how much I actually transformed my life and my creative process and even my self-esteem. I did this like socialization deprivation experiment because I really wanted to see what kind of impact it would make on my creativity and my goals. I wanted this space where I wasn't getting this external influence so that I could really get clear on my goals and I could get clear on my vision and my ideas without being influenced by social media and the opinions of everyone else around. Number one, you will gain so much clarity on so many things in your life if you just take this time to really get to know yourself. Your goals, your habits, good and bad, what's holding you back, discovering your why, discovering your purpose, all of that. Number two, you will get to pause and take inventory of all of the energies that you have been surrounding yourself with, and then you'll get to reassess all of the content that you've been consuming and how all of these things actually have an impact on you and your decision making. Three, you will be able to create in the most uninhibited way, uninfluenced by other people's opinions. Because this was something that I often used to either get reassurance or validation or just like confirm that an idea that I had looked good. And so when I removed this, at first honestly it brought up a lot of insecurities and it highlighted a lot of blocks for me because I wasn't really able to create without the validation of others, like even before I would even post it. So I would get stalled in a lot of different parts of the process because I was so reliant on other people's opinions and input. Okay, so let's get clear on what I actually removed. I have 3 social media accounts. 2 of them are for business, one of them is personal. So I logged out of my personal account and I was not checking messages there. And then my other 2 business accounts I used just for work posting. During this 28 days, I was not going out, I did not drink. So I tried to maximize the amount of clarity that I had. I combined this solitude, or what is better known as an incubation period, with a lot of self-development and self-discovery practices. So things like journaling, meditation, a lot of different modalities that I use to really get to know myself better. And I want to quickly define at least the kind of meditation that I was doing, and it was just dedicated moments of silence where I could kind of go in and sort of explore my inner world and ask myself questions and really just use it as a focused opportunity to get to know myself better and on a deeper level. Within this eyes closed work, you can start to do things like shadow work and inner child work, and those are some of the things that I ended up doing too, because as I start uncovering things, I recognize even more blocks that I have, and so I have to start digging deeper to really understand and then dismantle those blocks. A lot of them were blocking my creativity process. In order to know what to meditate on, that's where journaling comes in. So using these 2 things together, journaling and meditation, I find makes a very effective excavation process. So when you do all of this, you will gain so much clarity on not just your blocks, but you will also start to discover what your purpose is and what you're passionate about, which will obviously allow for you to be able to make clear goals. And because you were in this period of solitude or incubation, you are not getting those external influences. So for me personally, I think this was so effective because I am naturally such a people pleaser, and I was so heavily influenced by other people's opinions and what I thought they wanted me to be doing in life, what I created in my head that their expectations were for me. I would rely on other people's opinions, other people's feedback. I had no internal feedback system, so I couldn't really do anything without the opinion or advice from other people because I ultimately just didn't trust myself. I never felt like I could rely on my own judgment. So removing all of that, having to make all of these decisions on my own, it hurt at first. It was really difficult, but it obviously strengthens your intuition. So kind of going no contact and limiting a lot of my socialization, even on social media, like sending memes back and forth, you probably don't understand how much that reinforces your beliefs, your thoughts, your values, because you're not even having a conversation, but you're sending memes, reels that kind of sum up your sense of humor and all of the sort of ways that you cope, right? A lot of them are funny, but as I kind of zoomed out, I realized that a lot of it is kind of self-deprecating. Some of it's healthy, some of it's like recipes and health and stuff like that, but you know, again, this is just an opportunity for you to actually take some inventory here. And this opened up my eyes to a lot of this stuff. It also opened up my eyes to how much time I actually spent doing this, and the fact that this was my outlet. After a long day, I would get on social media when I could be doing other things. And so I had to ask myself, why? Why is that my outlet? Why is that something that after a long day, I come home and that's the first thing that I want to do? It's so mindless and it really is inherently innocent. But when you remove it, it really just makes you think a little bit more deeply about things. And I think taking a step back for an extended period of time really highlighted how narrow my perspective was, because I was constantly in contact with the same people. And so when I removed myself from those situations, and it wasn't that they were bad people or anything, it's just that I think you just get stuck in this sort of confirmation bias and your perspective really gets narrowed down. So shortly before this was when I actually started my second business Instagram account, and it was just really nice to kind of start fresh and really be conscious and mindful of the kind of content that I was consuming. And I had an opportunity to wipe the slate clean there and create this new virtual environment for myself, create this new digital environment for myself. And then after the 28 days, I logged back into my old Instagram and I was like, oh my God, even after just 4 short weeks, I felt like I was an entirely different person. So after doing all of the self-work, and this really started because I'm in the middle of doing this spiritual life coaching certification, and I needed to make sure that my mind was fully in it, that I was fully submerged in this program, and that's where my head was at. In this program, all of the tools that we're learning to use on our future clients, we actually have to use on ourselves first. So there's a lot of stuff coming up. We're doing the meditation, we're doing the journaling, we're doing these release practices, and we're shedding old habits. Like, there's a lot of stuff that comes up that you have to clear out. So this was kind of the perfect opportunity for me to just really figure out what it was that I wanted to do so that I could start setting goals and really change the trajectory of where my life was going. All in all, this was a 10 out of 10 experience for me, and I highly recommend, like, if you're at a time in your life where you're contemplating your career or your purpose, or you're trying to figure out what your purpose is, like, this was a great tool for me to just really get clear on what I wanted my future self and future life to look like. I will say, for the first time, after doing all of this self-discovery, I really did start to fall in love with myself, which is crazy to say. I never thought I would be even saying something like this. And not just because you really get to know yourself, but you also see what you are capable of. You see the discipline that you have, you see all of the things that you can accomplish, and you just get so excited for your future because now you have clear goals and you have a clear path to get there. And if you're like me and you had this heavy influence of external opinions, thoughts, and you remove that and you learn how to rely on yourself, like, that just makes you fall in love with yourself so much more, and it is so powerful. It's like you finally realize, I'm not so bad. So if that's the only thing that you get out of this, I mean, that's amazing in and of itself. So I will keep making videos so that I can update you guys on this spiritual life coaching journey and any tips, tricks, whatever for self-improvement, self-development, and my favorite, self-love. So make sure you guys subscribe and comment if there's anything else that you guys want to talk about, and I will see you in the next video.